Yes, hello. Can you hear me?
Yes, ma'am, we could hear you.
Yeah, thank you. Let me continue. Yes, so let me share my screen. Here we are in HTML4. Yesterday I gave introduction part of one website. What all the tags we use it in that site I explained. Here we are in web UI. UI here it is a user interface. User interface, we call it as UI. Here in this HTML4 as the first topic, second CSS2 as the second topic, third JavaScript generally I'll cover. Here first topic generally I'll go for 10 days, CSS2 again 10 days, then JavaScript will continue for 22 hours of sessions. I'll continue on JavaScript. Like that, remaining part of content I'll continue. Here, HTML is a hypertext markup language. It's a hypertext markup language. Here it is completely a tag-based programming. Here, completely it is a tag-based programming. Tag is nothing but here markup language. It is a tag-based programming. Here itself, tag equal to instruction to browser. We can give our instructions to the browser in the form of tags. Here, these tags are here. Two types of tags we have. Here, one is paid tag. Second one is here unpaid tag. Two types of tags we have. Here, under this paid tag, whenever you start the tag name, definitely you need to close the tag like this. This is paid tag. Here itself, we can write the tag name. Here itself, we'll close it. This is unpaid tag. Here, we are learning here paid tags and unpaid tags in our HTML. That paid tag, whenever you start it, definitely you need to close it. Here itself, I'm explaining here paid and unpaid. Under this paid tag, here, let me see. Today's date 25th October 2024 at 6 a.m. Here, we are learning here paid tags in that. So one category of tags are here, paid tags. In this paid tags, here, example for this, here, body tag is a paid tag. HTML tag is also comes under paid tag. Here, head tag is a paid tag. Style, then script. Okay. Like this, yesterday I explained H1 to H6. We checked in different websites. In one website, I showed you how these headings are displaying. To display our output, how these headings are displaying, those all we discussed here. H1 to H6. If you write H7, H8, it won't work. Only H1 to H6, we have tags. All comes under paid tags. Next, paragraph tag is used to display paragraph content. Div tag is used to display division of the web page. Next one, here div tag is used to display division of the web page. Next one, table tag is used to display table of content. Here, marquee tag I'll explain to you. This is for scrolling content. Here, it is a paid tag. Like this, we have some list of all paid tags we have. Paid here, once you start the tag, definitely you need to close the tag. This is paid. And next, we can write it here, unpaid tag. Here, I'm explaining here, paid and unpaid, two types of tags I'm explaining here. Here, that list of unpaid tags are here. Second category of tags are here, unpaid tags. This unpaid tags example here, image SRC is used to display images. You can directly write the name of the image. or that image SRC only, we can write that location. So where that image is available, that location of that image, and image SRC, we use it here, any URL. So URL of that image, here google.com. So any URL of that image we can display. HR tag for horizontal line, BR tag for break line, input element, input type text, input type button, input type radio, all comes under input elements. Input type radio. Like this, we have all input elements in our program. Here input type text is used to display text box. Here input type radio, input type button. Here like this, we have all the list of tags. Here, etc., all comes under paired tags, unpaired tags. Here, this list is comes under unpaired tags. Here, this list is comes under paired tags. Here, like this only, we have that paired tags and unpaired tags. Okay, we are learning here pair and unpair in our HTML page. Pair, once you start the tag, definitely you need to close it. Unpaired will write like this. We have like this so many tags. Now let me go for Visual Studio Code. Here, let me open this VS Code. Share. Okay. Here, how to install Visual Studio Code, how to write our first program in VS Code, those all we discussed in the previous sessions. Here, now I'll continue on this. Here, I'm explaining here pair and unpair. Here, now let me continue on this. Here, open recent 6 AM folder. Here, H1 to H6 paragraph all comes under pair tags. Here it is first example. Here H1 to H6 we wrote it and paragraph tag, div tag. Okay. So these all I have to discuss. I'll discuss that. Here up to this div tag I explained as pair tag. And to run this program, we have to go for extensions in that. So only one-time process. So to run the programs in VS Code, we have to install live server, click on install button. So by that it will be installed in our system. After that, you can go for your program, right click, open with live server. Open with live server automatically opens your program in the browser. Directly in the browser, it will open that output that it is possible by here VS Code. Here automatically it will open it in the browser because of VS Code. So this is the live server execution. In this, you can see here that port number, here that IP address, port number, here folder name, subfolder name, and file name. Here it is not showing main folder name. Why? Because main folder is already configured in the workspace of VS Code. Here main subfolder name and that file. So this way generally it will display that output of our application. Next we can show you here H1 to H6 paragraphs all will display here for heading content. Here next one. Here it is unpaired tags. Unpaired tags I'm explaining here. So if you have any images in the same location, see I copied a few images into the HTML4 location. So I copied from pictures. Here I copied saved pictures. Here I copied 1, 2, 3 images and I pasted into our workspace. See in documents I have 6 AM folder, HTML4 folder. Here I pasted. So if I paste it here in the 6 AM folder, it won't work. I have to paste it in the current location where my program is saved. In that location only, I have to save my file. I have to copy my file. So here in this time, this is unpaired tag. In this unpaired tag, I'm using here image SRC. It used to display images. I'm writing 1.jpg like this. Here I'm creating my program of 1.jpg like this. Then image src, we can write C drive, some other location. I'm writing one is directly name of the image. Another one, go to the location, same image only, but I'm writing address. See here, same 1.jpg or 2.jpg, any image you can use. But here, one is I'm writing directly name of the image. Second, I'm writing here address, that current location of that image. So two ways I'm writing that image like this. So now you can find it here. Here only you can write image src. Here itself, you can check it here, 1.jpg and the name of the image, and another one is like this. Here, similar way, I can copy that address location of that image. So, any URL of that image. Suppose if you search for images, then you can go for that images. See, you can copy any address of that image. Here, copy image address. I copied that image address. So now you can copy this. See, this way I can display here images. So now if I run this program with a live server, see here, I can see first image and third image. When I run my program by live server, I can see here first image and the third image. That second image, it is not displaying. Here, first image and the third image only it is displaying. That second image is not displaying. So now if you run this program here, I'm able to see this first image and the third image. So now if I run my program directly by browser, see, just double click. See, I'm executing my program. One is by live server. Live server is showing first image and the third image. Means URL of that image and current location image only it is showing. But it is not showing my other location image. My local system address, it is not displaying. But if you check it here, see here, if I check this, here this is a normal execution by browser. See here, you can see all three images. All three images you can see here. Why? Because this is what current location image, this is second image, this is third image. So in this time, all images it is displaying here side by side. It is possible by our here normally if you run it by browser. Live server can find only the current location, current working directory within the workspace, whatever images are available, that one only it will find it. Here, this image here, current location, other location, whatever image you want it, you can use. But here, if you write that address like this, C drive, your system's local address, if you write it, it cannot be detected by live server. See, it is current location only, 6 AM HTML4 2.jpg only. You see, this is 1.jpg. It is also available in 6 AM HTML4 1.jpg. This is 2.jpg, 6 AM HTML4 2.jpg. But even though if you write it like this, it cannot find that image. Suppose if you directly write 2.jpg like this, see, it can find that location. See here it is showing three images. Here also it is showing three images. But if you run it by here like this, here it is not able to find the second image. Second image it is not displaying. Here this is about the images. So I'm writing here image SRC. SRC is used to display images. Here we are writing here 1.jpg and the another image and another here URL of that image. So this way only will display that output for our application. This way only we can execute our code. Here, what I'm doing here, that address, whatever address I'm writing here, within that address only, I can display my output for my program. Here in this time, this is what here images. Next, here that image SRC, we can also write it here, width and height of that image. See, for every image, we can write it here width. So 100 pixel, 200 pixel, any width. Here height, here 100 pixel, 200 pixel, any height. Then ALT. ALT here it is flower image is the ALT. So now if you check it here, see, you can see that here first image and the last image is like this, 100 by 100 size, last image is like this. This is what my first image, this is what my last image. Last image I'm writing here with 100 by 100 size. Everywhere it will show you same type of output. See, the third image it is showing here within the width and height. It is displaying that output like this. Okay, so this is the way we can execute it. So now you can check it here. This image is not displaying, so ALT will be displayed. Suppose if I write it here, red flower, I'm writing red flower. So now check that output here. See here, you can see that here, red flower output, you can see like this. This is first image, second image, third image. Here, red flower, it is displaying here just because of our ALT. Because of ALT only, it will show you that red flower like this. Here, this is what about the images. So I'm able to display that image here, red flower image like this. Next, we are going for here image SRC is used to display images. Here and ALT we can display for execution of our code. Here, suppose one more one. Here for this image SRC, here image SRC, here ALT, all comes under images. Image SRC, ALT, here width of that image, and then height of that image. Here these all comes under images. Here image SRC, ALT, width, height, all comes under attributes of this image tag. Here these all comes under attributes of image tag. These all comes under attributes of image tag. Okay, so like this we can write. Here I'm not able to display that other location image in the live server, but normal browser, if you execute it, you can see that execution of that image. Here I'm explaining here image SRC used to display width, height, ALT for our application. That attributes of that image tag will write like this. Here only I'm explaining here 3 different ways of writing that image. So in this ALT, if the image not available in that location, then only ALT will be displayed for our program. Okay, so here SRC, ALT, width, height are the attributes of this image tag. Here HR tag we use it here for displaying horizontal line. HR we use it here for displaying horizontal line. See here one horizontal line left to right it is displaying here. This is because of HR tag. Here next we can write it here one more one HR width. Here width of that particular tag and then height of that particular tag. Sorry, size, width, size and color. These all are the attributes of this horizontal line. Here within the 100% screen, 10%, 20%, any percentage of width you can write. And size 20 pixel, 30 pixel, any thickness of that line you can write. And color, red color, green color, blue color, like this you can write. Here I'm using here HR tag. Within that HR tag, I can display here width, height, ALT, here width, size, color. You can write it like this. Width, size, color for our program, we can write like this. This way only we can execute our program. See, this is what here HR tag. See, now check it. 10% of width, 20 pixels of thickness, red color. 10%. So from left to right, completely if it is displaying, it is 100% screen. See, this is only 10% screen. Within that 10% screen, see here it is 10% screen and here 20 pixels of thickness, here red color. This is possible by HR tag because of HR tag. Next, we can write it here, HR tag, we can write like this. So this way only will display that output. Here I'm using here HR tag. Because of that HR tag only, we can display horizontal line. If you don't write any here, if you don't write any HR width and height, by default it will be display like this. See here, left to right completely it is occupying like this. Suppose if you write here width, see I'm writing here width of that horizontal line. See here that width will be here 10%, 20%, 100%, any width you can write. Suppose if you write it here 70%, that 70% of width we can display here for our screen. See here left to right it is showing here 70% of the width. Next you can show you here size. Size here you can check it here. If you write it here 1 pixel, see color if you write it here green color, so by that the thickness will be here 1 pixel of green color. So if you write it here 40 pixel, here 40 pixels of thickness color, it will show you like this. Here it can show you 10 pixel, it can show you 40 pixel. This is possible by our HR tag. Because of HR tag, I can display my output like this. Here I'm displaying here horizontal line for my program. That horizontal line for our application, we can display like this. Okay, here this way only we can execute it. Here this is left to right totally horizontal line. And this time here this is one more horizontal line. This is one more horizontal line. The thickness is changing here. Here two input elements. See here next one. Suppose if you use it here BR tag. After first image, second image, I want to move it into the next line. So for this, I can use it here, BR. BR, wherever you use it, that comes under break line. See here, after the first image, second image is going to the new line. See here, normally all images are coming in the same line. If you want to break any line of the content or an image, see here, after first image, I'm writing BR. See, it is going to the new line. See, after second image, if you want to move that third image here, see, you can write it here. Here, before third image, I'm writing one more BR. See here, now if you check it here, that image also, it will go to the new line. See, image SRC used to display images. Here, first image, it is displaying like this. Then second image is going to the new line. Third image is also going to the new line. This is possible by our BR, yeah, break line. Break line of the paragraph content, we can write like this. Next, I'm going for here. This is all about the BR tag. We can use it here, break line, to display that content. Here, next I'm going for one more one here. I'm using here BR tag to display that break line of the content. Here, next one. Here only you can check it here. Break line of the content will come like this. Here, here BR tag is mainly used to display break line of the paragraph. Here all H1 to H6 all will display here different sizes of headings. Here HR tag for horizontal line, BR tag for break line. Images will be displayed like this. Here, next one here, input element. Input type equal to text is used to display text box. Here itself you can write username, password, anything you can write. This is what here, one text box. Next I can write it here password box. For this input type equal to password. Like this you can write. Input type equal to text, input type equal to password. This way only will write our output. Next, if you write it here email, we can write it here input type equal to email. Like this you can write. Here input type equal to email, we can write for our program like this. Input type text, input type password, input type email. Like this, we can write it here so many input fields. Now, if you check that execution here in this time, you can see here all are coming in the same line. All input elements are coming in same line. And this is what here, one text box. This one here it is password box. This one here it is email address box. If you mouse over, see it will give you one tooltip, incomplete, and yet in the email address, ASDF is missing at. Here it is missing here in this email. Okay, like this it will give. Here username field, password field, email address field. So this way only we can execute our program. This is possible by our input elements. Username, password, email address as the input fields. These input fields we can display for our program like this. Username, password, email address we are using as our input fields. So this way only we can execute our program. I'm writing here username field, password field, email address field. In between this, if you use here BR tag, I'm using here BR like this, where how many times you will use it, those many times it will, see here, it will come into the new line. Here, before the first input element also, if you write BR, that one also will go to the new line. See, like this, I'm using here all input element. This is the first program. Like this, you can find so many input elements. Here, this example is explaining only the first input element here, input type text, input type button, input type radio, all input elements we are writing here. In this input elements, what all we have, that you can check like this. Username field, password field, that input element, how to display for our program, you can check. Here, username, password, email address, all are the input elements. See, in this input elements, that input boxes, whatever we are writing here, that input elements, whatever we are writing here, those will display like this. Okay, one second. Here, we are using here all input elements, input type text button, radio button, checkbox, drop down list. Like this, we can write all our input elements. This way only we'll write our execution. Here I'm writing here how to write all different input fields and HR tag, horizontal line, BR tag, break line. Here how to display all these input elements we discussed up to now. Next I'm going for how to write all input elements for our program. You can check it here. So how we are using these all in the real time. If you check this Facebook login application form, in this login application form, you can check it here. This input elements, what all input elements we have, see here. This is one image. Here, this is one heading. Here, email address box, button. These two are by input type email, input type password, input type button. And this is what here, image tag. And these two are the anchor tags. Check it similar way here. Oracle create account page. Here, you can see this is what here heading. See, if you want, right click, inspect element on this. See here H1. See here, this is H1 tag. It is because of heading. Here, similar way, you can find it here, one more heading. Here, one more heading, span tag. Here, one more hyperlink. Here, image SRC. Here, it is for images. See here, SRC, ALT, width, height, and style. Okay, image SRC, ID, SRC, width, height, ALT. All are comes under images. Next, we can display here. These all images how to display for our program. You can check like this. So next one, here only you can check it here. See, this is email address box. Right click, inspect element on this. Here itself, you can check it here. Input type equal to text. They are not using like a email address box. They are using like text. but they'll write all validations for that. Next one here, input type password. Here it is, you can check it here, input type. Here it is, input type password. This is for password box. Next, you can check it here, label password, label we are using here. This is a pair tag, we'll write the label like this. Here, next one, here itself, right click, inspect element on this. Here you can find it here. This is what one drop down list. Drop down list, we'll use it like this. Here, this is what here, one drop down list, we can display output like this. Here, next one here only, you can check it here, image SRC for images. And if you right click, inspect element on this, see, you can see one input box here. Here, input box here, that is input type text. Input type text is one text box. Here, like this, you can find it here. So many input elements, all images and all input elements, you can find it. Right click, inspect element on this. Here, you can see this here, all address box is a text box. Here, finally, you can display here, last row, open this, here TD, table TRTD they are using here, and to display that their output. Here, you can check. See, this is one anchor tag. They are not using like button. They are using like anchor tag and submit button, create a counter. Span tag and anchor tag, they are using like this. Here on focus time, different color, those all by JavaScript. Here, the code, whatever we are writing on click, this dot focus, return false. See, this is by this dot focus and return false is by JavaScript. Here on click is one event. Okay, so like this, we can write it here, all our events for our application. Next, we are going for, this is what here table tag is used to display table of information. Next, I can display here span tag content and div tag content, all will display like this. This is what here frame, iframe, we can display. Here SRC is used to display script. Here script is used to display JavaScript code. Here only you can check it here. This is one application form. Once you click submit button, your data will be redirected to server. So once you click submit button here, your data will be redirected to server. Here, this way you can display that output. Here, this is totally about the input element. Here itself, we are writing here all input boxes like this. Username box, password box, submit button, job title. These all required message is coming from JavaScript. This input element, text box, password box, and here address box. Here, this is what actually text box only. Here, drop down list. This is one drop down list. We'll use it different way. Here, this type of output we can show for our program. This is possible by HTML. Okay. Not only this, if you check any website, Facebook, Twitter, any type of website you can open, flipkart.com if you open, here all images will show you with a slideshow. Here images, all images will be displayed with a slideshow. It is possible by image tag. See, this is what here, one bigger size image. This image we can display for our program. See here. This is all about the images. These images we can display for our program like this. Okay. Here images for our application we can display. See here. Here, now right click inspect element. See here, this is actually one. Right click inspect element on this. Here H1. See, because of H1 it is displaying like this. And this is what here, right click inspect element on this. This is what totally paragraph. Here, now you can check it, right click inspect element. Here, image. This is what here, image tag. Here, this is one image tag. Okay. So here, this is what complete image. On the image only, we are displaying. Here, it is one complete image. According to screen size, it will display that output. Okay. Here on the top of the image only, we are displaying some part of content here. Some part of content. This is one more image. See, multiple images we are using here. This is one image and the center one is one more image. All three images, they are displaying one after another. See, two images. Here, this is one more image. Okay. Here, next after this, here, top of it, we are displaying some content. Here, content we are displaying on the top of it. Here, that is what here, content for our application. So if you go down, you can see that here, that footer content, how we are displaying. See here, this is last footer for our program. Here, footer content for our paragraph. Here, footer content, how to write it, I'll show you footer. See, this is one footer tag. Okay, here footer tag is used to display footer content. So header tag, footer tag, separately we will learn it in our syllabus. Header tag as well as footer tag, we will learn separately in our content. Okay, here this way I'll show you all our executions. So I'm writing here header tag, footer tag, all will display like this. One second. Here I'm able to display my output like this. This is what last footer. It is used to display footer content. Header content and footer content for our application will display like this. Here, this way only we can execute our program. Here, now you can find it here, how to display that container, that full container size. These all, how to write it, you will learn one by one in our syllabus. So because of Bootstrap, you can use this container class. Under this, column structures are by class name row and class name column, and call SM for smaller screen, call MD for medium screen. Like that, we have different columns in our program. We'll see one by one in our syllabus. Okay, so here up to now, whatever classes I have done, all class recordings I uploaded in your drive, and I already shared my mail address with you. Okay, I created one drive access for you for 6 a.m. batch, and I shared my mail address also with you. Here in this 6 a.m. drive, so I uploaded all my recordings here in this recordings folder. So up to yesterday, all recordings I uploaded here. Like this, I'll continue everyday sessions. Session number wise, I'll upload it here. So I'll write it here, session number in the front. So by that, you can sort it everyday session and you can check it. You can sort my session number. So in the sorting order, it will display rather than date order. See session 1, session 2, remaining all continuation demos. And here, the remaining all demos, what I have conducted, all I uploaded here, same repetitions only. Next, you can check it here in this programs. See here in the programs folder, I uploaded everyday class programs, I uploaded here. And in the paint file, here in the paint file, you can check it here, all the list of paint files. Here every day, including yesterday, all paint files I'm uploading here in this paint folder. And demo paint files I uploaded in the demo folder itself. Here, next one, here, programs, recording, paint file, documents. See here, all the list of documents, web UI course content and all HTML4 documents I uploaded here. So next, after this, here documents, paint file, programs. Next, after this, here we can test. So once I conduct any test, that question paper I'll upload here. So like this, I'm uploading. This drive is shared with the here, that list of students' email addresses. You can check it here. So, okay, let me open that here at 6 a.m. See, I have shared this drive for the 3 students. So I got only 3 registrations till now. So that's why I want to take one more demonstration on the next week. So next week it is 28, 29. I'll continue at 6 a.m. on the demo. Then 30 onwards, you can continue for this continuation session. Here, Saturday, no class. Sunday, anyway, no class. Okay, this Saturday, I'm not continuing. Next Saturday onwards, I'll continue everyday class. Here, and Monday, Tuesday, no class for your batch. Wednesday onwards, I'll continue. Monday, Tuesday, it is a demo class. Wednesday onwards, we'll continue everyday class for the continuation of syllabus.
Ma'am, which means tomorrow is Saturday.
Saturday, Sunday, no
So
class.
today is the last class, and again the next class for us will be on Wednesday, correct?
Yes.
Okay, ma'am. Ma'am, one more point. Actually, I connected with the coordinator and gave my email address. So did they give that to you?
I got only this list only.
Yeah, actually, I communicated to them like couple of times. Day before yesterday also I told, yesterday also I told, but I'm not sure why they are not giving it to you.
Okay. So I'll ask them.
Yes,
So,
please, ma'am.
yeah, I'll ask them about your email address. I'll add it and I'll share my drive access with you and my mail ID with you.
Yeah, that would be great. Thanks.
Yeah. Yes. Any other doubts?
Yes, ma'am. I do have a couple of doubts with the things which we discussed today.
Okay.
The first thing is like when we give the local folder address, like the image address,
Yeah.
live server cannot able to load it, right? Any specific reason for that, ma'am?
Live server only works for locally. Local system, local configured location. It won't access all your system's address. It will check it only locally. It is installed for this VS Code. So only
Okay.
VS Code configured folder only it can find it. So even if you write that VS Code configured file in the form of C drive, that absolute path address, if you write it, it cannot find it.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
So you mean to say the absolute path address it cannot able to find live address, live
Yeah.
server.
Yes.
Okay. And apart from that, while writing an image tag, you written ALT, right? Is that meant alternative?
Yes. Alternative text.
Okay, okay, ma'am. And apart from that, span tag, label tag, and all, you showed it in the actual site. So will
Yes.
that be used in our next class for our
Yes.
practice?
Yes. In
Yeah.
future, in input elements time, completely I'll
Mhm.
discuss about all types of input elements, drop down list, text area, button, radio button, checkbox. In that time, complete input elements we'll discuss.
Yeah. Okay, ma'am. Ma'am, thanks. Doubts are clear. Just one request, ma'am. Again, I'm telling like, please check with them and add my email address so that before Wednesday session, I'll look into all the classes once again.
Okay.
Please.
Yes,
Yeah.
definite.
Yeah.
Now itself I'll ask them. I'll,
Yeah.
share
Thanks,
my
ma'am.
drive access. Yeah.
Yeah. Thanks, ma'am.
Yeah. Okay. Yes. Any doubts, Mahadasa?
No doubts, ma'am. This is all
No
clear.
doubts. Okay. Okay. Then. We'll meet on Wednesday for the continuation of syllabus. Thank you.
Thanks.